Okay, I'm going to do this again and try to do it a different way to try to keep the animosity down. I don't want any energy on this channel that is fighting or arguing. Open discussion about things are fine, but that's different than animosity and fighting. And I don't want anyone fighting here. Remember, everybody's path is valid and important. The way that anyone does their path is a good thing. And it is absolutely perfect. As I've said before, and I'll say again, I am talking primarily to starseeds wanting to go home. And starseeds don't have to go home, by the way. Starseeds can opt to stay in 4D and play and experience everything there is in 4D. So all starseeds won't necessarily go home. There will be starseeds that opt to stay in 4D, and that's perfectly fine. Absolutely perfectly fine. There is a lot of experience to be had in this creation in the fourth dimension. And I want to send them all my love, and for them to have a good time, and to have them have lots of experience and lots of lifetimes doing that. But for me, primarily, I'm doing these videos for starseeds that want to go home. And there will be a certain percentage of humans, what I call humans, people who have lived in this creation for thousands of lifetimes. And I don't mean just thousands of lifetimes, thousands and thousands and thousands of lifetimes. Not just as a human being, but as every creature or every option that's available on this planet Earth. Okay, so they have been here a long time. There are some humans that have finished that experience, that already experienced all of the fourth dimension on the way down, so to speak, and they are ready to go back to play something else outside of this creation. So these vids are for them as well. So I'm going to do this again about food. Alright, as gently as I can, and hopefully more softly, and maybe it will not spark as much controversy. When you eat, when you eat at all, something has to die for you to eat, period. And that means plants and animals. Plants have consciousness as much as animals do, and that you have to, they have to be killed in order for you to eat. Now, you can do that as long as you're eating. You can do that, killing and eating a plant or an animal, in a better way and a not so better way. Either way, the plant and the animal already knows what it's in for. It already knows that it's going to be eaten. It knew that when it came for this experience. But scientifically speaking, if you have an animal, and this is true with plants as well, that is in fear for an extensive period of time, it gets into the meat, or if it gets into the body of the plant as well, and it kind of taints it. So it's not as good for your body. So you want plants and animals that have been raised with love, who are harvested with love. You want to be thankful, very, very grateful and appreciative of that plant or animal for giving its life so that you can live. And when you do all of those things, if the plant and animal has a really good life here, the killing or harvesting process is done very quickly and humanely on both sides, plants and animals. And if you're very grateful and thankful, but yet understand that the plant and the animal knew that it was going to be killed and eaten, then everything is fine and dandy. As fine and dandy as it can be, as long as you're eating, okay? The point here is that, back to the judgment thing, I want to encourage anyone that's going to 5D, you know, that's a part of what we need to do, is get rid of the judgment. So I want y'all to stay away from judging each other based on what you're eating. I don't want y'all to judge anybody for any reason, understanding that they are a god and they know what they're doing. So even if they're eating the tainted meat or the tainted plant, then they know what they're doing ultimately. So to preach to any of these people, really you're just going to get a lot of attacks, as you have seen from the comments of my other videos. And I don't want that. We don't want to interfere with anybody else's path. You can absolutely share your path, but expect nothing. So if someone goes, oh, that's interesting, and reaches forward with some more questions, then absolutely answer their questions. But if they snarl at you and call you names, then don't let that affect you at all. You simply send them love, that they're on a different path, and move forward. Okay? So, meat eaters are fine, vegans are fine, everybody's fine. Try not to judge anybody for any reason. There's a lot of, the bad guys have set up a lot of these scenarios to get humans to judge and be angry at each other. So I want you to encourage you to try to notice those things and not fall for it. That's another one of their ploys. Now me, I look at it and go, oh, no, 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 you're not going to win. You're not going to beat me on this. I see you. I see what you've done. So any of those that come up, and there are a lot of them, race, education level, money, abortion, not abortion, smoking, not smoking, whether or not smoking marijuana is natural or not, music types, men versus women, sexual preferences against one another. Oh, there's so many. There's so many. They just kind of go on and on and on and on, which was a good move in their part. So this is what I want y'all to disconnect from. When it comes to you eating, I personally am not eating very much at all at this point. I do a lot of sun gazing, and I work on pranic breathing. Because ultimately, whether or not you're eating plants or animals, what happens is that you take that into your system, and the body breaks it down to a molecular level, which is energy, and puts it into your body so it can be used. Okay? So I'm just kind of cutting out the middle person, the middleman on that. Instead of going through the plant and animal and breaking it down to energy, I'm drawing out in the energy straight from the sun or straight from around me. That's what I'm doing. But remember that your body will tell you what it needs. And I encourage you that the most important thing to do is to get in touch with your body and give your body what it needs, and try not to really get involved in the I'm this or I'm that, I'm a meat eater, I'm a vegan, I'm a vegetarian, because that causes rifts whenever you talk to people, and you don't want that. You don't want any kind of negativity in your life, because we're reaching for 5D Earth, which is no fear, no conflict at all. So the more you can practice seeing, living out your life being a lower energy place, even if it's just around you, then that will help you get to 5D. So listen to what your body tells you. Give it what it needs. When you are eating, understand that both the plant and the animal are alive. They have consciousness. You want to get, as long as you're eating and as long as you believe it, then cleaner food is better. Plants and animals that have been treated well throughout their life are better for you if you're eating most of the time. And usually by the time that those things don't matter, you're probably very close to the point where you don't need to eat at all. If you're to the point where you can transmute whatever goes into your mouth into what's perfect for your body, you're just very, very short distance from not having to eat at all. Now in 5D, we do not eat plants or animals. What you can do is you can hold out your hand as a creator God, and you can produce the perfect hamburger, perfect pizza, the perfect Chinese food just out of thin air. You'll take the energy molecules and you can produce it in your hand, but you will kill nothing to eat. That will not be on in 5D because that produces fear. Fear in the plants, fear in the animals. And because we're looking at a planet that has no fear, then we cannot kill plants and animals and eat them. Because they both have consciousness and they both are fearful, knowing that you can eat them. Okay, does that make sense? The plants and animals themselves will not eat each other either. They will be living via pulling in energy around them as well. Okay, that's how 5D works. Alright, does that kind of calm down, I think? Does state my case with, hopefully, without causing everyone to go crazy. Because we really, really do not want negativity on this channel. We're moving towards a very uplifting, happy place in 5D as a whole. My family collective. Mwah. That's what we're doing. So we don't want any negativity. So I'm trying not to put up videos that will cause more of that. Rather, less of that. So, on the eating front, as long as you're eating, you probably have belief systems that there is bad for you food and better for you food. You need to go with the better for you food that, based on your belief system. Whether it's plant or animal, both plants and animals have consciousness. They are much more conscious than you think. Both the plants and the animals are. And so you want to go for food that you know that the plant or the animal has had a good life. You want to go somewhere where their death or their harvesting happened very quickly. So there was just this immediate spike of fear, but not a long-term amount of fear. And you want to be very, very grateful for that entity for giving its life, with an understanding that they know what they're doing. They did agree to that kind of death because they all saw it in the now. Okay, does that make sense? Hopefully that does. And also remember, listen to your body and give it what it says it needs. And it will tell you. It always has and it always will. Okay? Alright, that's it for this one. And yes, I did take down the other ones because they just caused, too much. It hurt. Physically hurts me when the vibrations are that are drawn in are that low. It's just painful for me. So I took them off because I didn't want that on our channel for us, for you, for me. So hopefully this one will give out the information and keep the animosity lower. So don't judge each other, guys. Alright? Love everyone. Understand everyone. Love your food. Be grateful for it. And give your body what it says it needs. Alright? Okay, that's it. Huge hugs. I love you all so much. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.